Now, I wonder, are you sick and tired of just feeling sick and tired? Does your body ache for no reason? Or maybe you're not sleeping as well as you used to?
Yeah, if that sounds like you, your lifestyle may be the cause of these symptoms. Perhaps it's stress building up at work or from home. Maybe your diet is inadequate, or it could be adrenal fatigue.
Yeah, here to explain and help us understand adrenal fatigue is naturopath and natural health and lifestyle guru David Javan. Welcome to you, Doc.
Hello, guys.
Okay, explain adrenal fatigue. What's that first?
So before we start, I want to clarify that we're not talking about Addison's disease or Cushing's disease. These are medical conditions that affect the cortisol levels. So adrenal fatigue is considered to be a mild form of adrenal insufficiency caused by chronic stress. But it's also a term used to explain some non-specific symptoms, such as things like body aches, fatigue, nervousness, sleeping issues, and digestive issues.
Okay, because I've heard this being thrown around quite a lot. How do we know if we've got adrenal fatigue? Do we need to be diagnosed?
Okay, well, first of all, when you get startled, your brain then triggers off your adrenal glands to produce cortisol and adrenaline. Right? Now, it's the cortisol that we're concerned about because you know that it affects things like, it's been related to things like high cholesterol, blood pressure, digestive and immune issues, and so on. So I think the thing that we've got to keep in mind is that, first of all, in medicine, you have these two states. You have clinical disease and subclinical disease.
Yep.
Yes.
And in clinical disease, you have recognizable clinical findings, but in subclinical, you don't. So what happens in adrenal fatigue is that there are a lot of people out there that are walking around with symptoms and tiredness and fatigue, and you can't explain it.
Yeah.
And they don't fit into that medical model of medical diagnosis. But it doesn't mean to say it doesn't exist.
Right.
Okay, so what happens is we say that the body is sensitive enough to actually recognize the variations, but blood tests are not.
So what would you say that we can do, because we're always on?
Yeah.
Time to switch off?
Well, first of all, you've got to start getting away from all the stimulants, so caffeine, excess alcohol, the refined sugars, getting some rest, hydration, getting the exercise in. You want to look at things like going and visiting a holistic practitioner that will look at and be more sort of empathetic to your situation with adrenal fatigue.
Yourself.
Thank you. Yes. And so also what you look at is things like B vitamins, and specifically vitamin B5, which is very good for the adrenal glands. There's an Indian herb called withania or ashwagandha, which is what we call an adaptogen, and that works as a tonic for the adrenal glands. Cool. And then looking at things like vitamin C, and of course rest. And my final one, which I think is most important, this is a crowd piece. It's having a break. Expedia apparently said in the last 4 months, their greatest number of searches was for actually people having overnight breaks rather than looking for the luxurious 3 to 4 weeks away. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, I think it was up by 40% in the last 12 months or so. So I think just the idea that we just get away from it for about a day or two.
Anything.
Absolutely.
I love a naturopath that prescribes holidays.
Oh, yes.
Great tips. Avoid all those stimulants like you mentioned, the alcohol, the caffeine, refined sugars and so on. Sure. Recharge and regroup through exercise. Bit of yoga probably wouldn't hurt. Yep. Get a little mini break in if you can. Plan that now. Put that in your diary. Yep. And laughter and happiness probably helps your adrenals out too.
Well, they say laughter is the key to happiness, and happiness is the key to happy adrenal glands.
So that's
absolutely. And putting up with Ed's jokes as well. I mean, while we're at it.
Catchy little sayings, one and all. Thank you, David.
Anytime at all, my friend. Anytime.